It's Monday, y'all. And we gotta make it make sense. If Johnny had 5 apples and then Susie ate 3 apples, how many apples does Johnny have? That question. Yeah. That question. Why do y'all keep repeating the question when the kids say, 20? And then you go, if Johnny had 5 apples and Sally ate 3, how many did they have? And the kid goes, 16. And then you go, if Johnny had 5 apples. How is repeating the question to a child that's already indicated that they don't know how to get to the answer helpful? It's not. Imagine if your supervisor talked to you like that. Imagine if your supervisor came to you and asked you a question and you didn't know the answer and you answered incorrectly and they repeated the question. That wouldn't make sense to you, would you? You would ask for clarification or state that you don't know. The child clearly does not know how to get to the answer. So instead of repeating the question and making them feel insecure and shame for not knowing the answer, ask them, how did you get to 20? Because that's not what I have, right? Invite them to explain the process of where they're at instead of expecting them to have your capability of processing. It is the most rudest thing to impose your knowledge on anyone. No one has walked in your shoes. No one has lived your life. So to assume that someone or a child can process the same way as you is rude. It's rude and it's not helpful. And more importantly, Jamal don't give a fuck about how many apples there are. Jamal probably don't even like apples. Jamal probably don't even eat apples. Okay? But if you ask Jamal if Ice Spice has 500 followers and she posts a new video and she loses 10, how many does she now have? I bet you he get the answer. Why? Because that means something to him. He can relate to that. He don't give a fuck about no apples. Do you even have apples in your house? As parents, if we are helping our children with their homework, it is on us to make sure that we can bridge the gap between the information and the digestion of it and the appropriate application of it. Yes, the teachers have the responsibility of putting together the lesson plan on which they give to your child for you to help at home. But it is not helpful if you're using shameful language. It is not helpful if you're making the child feel inadequate for not knowing the answer. Praise the child for attempting. Praise the child for even showing up and sitting down at the table because they don't want to do this shit. You don't want to help them and they don't want to be there either. So praise them for their presence because getting someone to even look at homework is hard. Okay? That is difficult. So while they're there, in the most praiseful fashion. So you know what? I want to thank you for showing up. But I also want to make sure you can hold them accountable that you're not just guessing, right? So you told me it's 20. Break it down and show me how you got 20. And if they can't break it down and show you how they got 20, then they're not even trying. They're guessing. Which means now you know where you need to start. Which is showing them where they need to even do the subtraction because they may not even understand that that's what's happening. But it's on you to find out where they are along the process so that you can help guide them to the answer. So yes, you may need to show them how you got that Johnny started with 5 apples and Susie ate 3. And so now Johnny only has 2. Why? Because we subtract 3 from 5, which gives us 2. Right? Now we can show them that. We can show them that process and now we can change the change the question and go, if Tom has 6 peaches and Bill comes and eat 2, how many do we have now? Hopefully they can get the answer. And if they can't, you sit down and you ask them, show me how you got that answer. it does not make sense to keep repeating the question in an angry fashion, it is not helping the child. It is only frustrating you, raising up your blood pressure, and reinforcing this negative emotion around learning. Make it make sense. Do better, parents. Do better.